I have a fairly rare Captain Planet action figure here I want to open up fresh off the card to show you. We have the anti-radiation armor Captain Planet. You might not recognize this card back imagery if you're familiar with the other Captain Planet action figures. Clearly we have the New Adventures of Captain Planet logo written on here from the later seasons of the show when it had that weird rap song in the beginning. Am I the only one that remembers this? It's painfully weird. But I believe these were kind of only released maybe in Europe where the show was still a little more popular than in the US. Kind of changed the card back here. Kind of a lineup of a few new figures, but we have all the Planeteers here. I've never seen any of the Planeteers on this newer card back, so they must have just released the Planeteers on the original card backs there. But there were some new unique Captain Planets. Got a hold of this. Yes, they do cost a bit of a pretty penny, meaning they're kind of expensive. Why? I mean, there was slightly less of them made technically because of just the Europe releases. Probably UK and maybe a few other countries around. This one clearly being a recolor of the Armor Captain Planet or Pollution Armor Captain Planet, which I did finally get a full set of armor for mine, which I lost pretty much all the pieces before. Sometimes strangely just called Armor Captain Planet there with no little paragraph describing him on the card backs, but a lot of times called Pollution Armor. Not anti-pollution armor like this is anti-radiation. But we can see a little different colors and different actions, so let's check out the very expensive anti-radiation armor Captain Planet. And that's why I acquire these old figures, is to open them up so you can see them. I try to preserve the card a little bit, but I'm not surgical about it. That's good enough as a save for me because mostly the card backs are really interesting. Pull out all the pieces. We have the figure, which is just a very strange coloring for Captain Planet. Orange and red, but still that signature green hair, but just different skin color. He's solid Captain Planet figure, like the 5 points of articulation, no waist, just the head turning, arms and legs. But he has these shiny, and they are glossy, black. This is his anti-radiation armor, which again just has like pegs and things that will snap around the body. We got the hand pieces, which I'm assuming the little ball kind of goes down toward the hand. Looks right on the instructions. A little bit of Centurions action here, like power extreme. Ree. The legs are marked with little letters. We got right leg, Kerchunk, and an L for left leg. Get them down to the level of the feet. And of course the two halves, we get the planet on the front, close around him. And here it is. Was it worth what we paid? No, it was not. But I've been collecting the Captain Planet stuff, so a rare piece like this, kind of cool to have in my collection. I mean, it wasn't a complete price out of insanity or anything like that. But again, the armor is going to limit the articulation. If you played with it, the armor is going to get beat up. It doesn't snap on super hard, so pieces will just kind of fall off if you do kind of handle it a lot. Not the most cool or beautiful looking look. Black shiny armor and with this weird coloring. I think the pollution armor was a lot better of a figure with the coloring of the armor, the red shiny, and taking it off had what was probably the best Captain Planet figure as far as just accurate to the show. Other than the Captain Planet lettering on his belt buckle, but he had the show colors and it's just a basic articulated figure, you know, no goofy gimmicks or anything like snap up arms or anything else. I always liked the armor Captain Planet because I could take the armor off, have a really good Captain Planet figure. Anti-radiation here, we've got just the wrong colors. They just tried to make like a different appearance for him. Also interesting, his colors are a little bit indicative of Captain Pollution. So had I had this as a kid, I might have used this as the Captain Pollution kind of substitute since we didn't really get his figure released where I live. Other than the green hair, he does kind of match a little bit color-wise. So maybe a little inspiration there for the color scheme. Just unique to the series because of that limited release and the different card back and all of that. So not really worth paying a whole lot because it's not a special feature or anything special to the line other than what it is in its rarity of itself. It's really the only special bit about this whole figure. You can dual Duke Nukem with his anti-radiation armor, I guess, a little bit better. So you can play around like that where, you know, if he loses the armor or gets it back, he's stronger against him. I hope there's still a guy just going like, I can't believe you ripped open that super rare Captain Planet action figure just now. Neat, but just an interesting piece I wanted to show here. To see other Captain Planet action figure stuff, I have a playlist going over other special figures and things of the toy line. And just to see other retro kind of 90s and action figures and such, you might want to just get subscribed here and check out the channel. See what else I like to open up and show. I always like getting a hold of special pieces to show you, the viewer. And for my collection, of course, also.